Mark, it's really interesting, and I'm not sure how you got the reference to my newspaper route at age 12, where I was a Hall of Fame record carrier for the Bergen record. I really need to put that on my resume. I may have peaked at an early age.
It's Movified Mondays. It's Movified Mondays, where mindset meets momentum.
Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Salmon's Moving Storage and Ellis Moving Storage, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And it is Movified Mondays. We are jazzed. I am super excited. I met Ken at the Moving Time event in St. Pete's, Florida, a couple months back, and said, I have to have you on the show. We were talking about AI this, AI that, and it was great. Ken Cohen, thank you so much for joining me.
Great to be here. And you had me at, do you want to be on a podcast?
I know, right?
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. Ken sits at basically the intersection of sales mastery, moving industry disruption, and AI-driven contact center transformation. A self-described detail-oriented go-getter, Ken began building customer networks as early as age 12 with a newspaper route, then leveraged roles at KPMG and major telecoms to sharpen his skills in analytics and operations. Fast forward, he's now the SVP of Sales and Business Development at JK Moving and helps deploy all of the generative AI contact center platform in partnership with TalkDesk, which I think we were going to touch base on, correct? Am I still on the same page here? Am I talking about the same Ken?
Yep, we're on the same page. And just a point of clarification, I left JK in January. So
you got the update. I love it. Old news, bad bio. I told everybody. I always tell everybody I'm always this.
No, that's okay. I'm just glad this isn't live.
Yeah, perfect. We can kind of tweak it. Well, you know what? Like on this episode, what I really want to do is I want to peel back the curtain on how transformation happens. You know, we're going to talk about AI. Ken, since January, because obviously it's almost been a year now, what have you been up to now?
Mark, it's really interesting, and I'm not sure how you got the reference to my newspaper route at age 12, where I was a Hall of Fame record carrier for the Bergen record. I really need to put that on my resume. I may have peaked at an early age delivering the newspaper, but I learned early on about customer experience because most of my money came from tips. But I digress. Great 6 years with JK Moving, wonderful company, wonderful people. But really, my career extends over 30 years from KPMG, where I learned about processes, and then a client hired me. So I was at KPMG for about 10 years. That client hired me. I was there for about 10 years doing accounting and finance and consolidating operations. And I was talking to the sales guys, and they're scoring all the runs, and I'm just keeping score. And it seemed like a whole lot more fun scoring the runs. And since I was in accounting, I also knew what they made, and their numbers looked a whole lot better than my number. I'm like, all right, let me see how I can get into this lane. And so ended up building that business and selling it with the company. Then moved to Katrina hit New Orleans, moved to South Florida, and Bell South Contact Center, Bell South bought Singular Cellular, and then AT&T bought DirecTV. So over the next 8-10 years, 20-seat contact center grew to 300 seats, and we ended up selling that. And in this wacky, crazy thought, let me get into the moving gig. The folks I was working with at AT&T were performance marketers, so they were driving leads, and they just bought a moving marketing collateral, and said, if you can sell moving like you sell AT&T, you're gonna kill it. And I said, let's go. And look before leap. And I took the same sales acumen that I had in the contact center of selling mobility and against great competitors and brought it to the moving space. I didn't understand on-site versus virtual. I didn't understand all these. I just sold, and sold is what I did. And I used the tools that I learned over the previous 10 years of the customer experience and the speed to lead. You know, the average time from lead to booking in the moving industry is 17 days. 77% of my sales were done in 48 hours, right? Treating it as sales. So, blah, 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 blah. So what have I been doing over the last year? I've been working with companies, mostly outside of the moving space, in the home service space, working with companies on sales enablement, these same discussions I'm having with you, using tools to effectively convert lead opportunities. Everybody wants more leads. You don't need more leads. You need to work the leads you have, increase that throughput, customer experience, customer journey, and ensuring that you're the first person to talk to that customer to frame the fight. So I've done a lot of business advisory, consulting work, and also for the first time in my life, my golf handicap is below 17.
We're talking, one of the things you pulled me aside and you kind of whispered me and be like, there's so many better tools out there that's being presented right now, or that, that moving company owners know. And I really kind of want to dive deep into how to be effective with these tools, because again, and I've said it on the show, you're going to have so many tools. My office goes, Mark, please, like, stop signing up for so many different programs, like, and it's not even coaching programs or conferences. It's, hey, I want to test this out. Hey, I want to demo this. Hey, I want to try this. And then we have 15 or 20 different programs that we've signed up for, and we've tapped into it, but nothing, executed, because you don't know, because tomorrow there's another program out there. Can we start hitting like some of these top tools that we can really be effective on?
Of course, I am going to pull the curtain back and listen. There's lots of tools. I'm going to share the tools with you that I've used over the last 10, 15 years that have worked for me in multiple companies that I was part of, and worked for me with references that I make. There is zero financial benefit for me on these tools that I'm recommending. I just love being on the podcast. I am trying to get to 50,000 LinkedIn followers. So the only benefit for me is to get the free $5 Starbucks gift card. Here's the problem. When I was trying to lose weight, I bought every book in America on how to lose weight. What I didn't do is go to the gym, which is an important part. I didn't eat right or go to the gym, but I bought every book, right? Where everyone's gaining tools. There's such an AI craze. And I remember being a guest speaker at TalkDesk in 2022 at the Contact Center conference in Vegas, and everywhere you saw AI flags. It was AI everything. I mean, 80% of those customers don't exist anymore, but it's not about AI. It is about using a tool, understanding what you're trying to accomplish, right? Because you can read a book about it and I can get a tool on how to lose, but I've got to understand going to the gym and eating right is going to help me lose weight. What am I trying to accomplish? Do I want my agents to be outbound dialing, or do I want a tool to outbound dial so I can answer the inbound call when it comes in versus outbound dialing and miss the inbound call when it comes in? What are you trying to accomplish? So we're going to go through all of that stuff over the next 16 hours.
Before we ever started using a moving CRM, someone asked me, could you 10x what you're doing right now with the current systems and processes you have in place? And I said no. And so he was like, well, then you need to just pull the trigger on the software. And then I saw Smart Moving and it was game over.
Austin joined thousands of moving owners on Smart Moving in 2021. Since then, he's more than doubled his business.
And I always compare Smart Moving to Apple products. It's just so simple, so easy to use. And that's really what what's allowed my team to scale and now have 2 branches. And last year we scaled Central Coast Moving over 50% growth.
If you're ready to turn your moving company into a machine that drives profit, not chaos, try Smart Moving.
Hey everyone, Matty Mailers here, the guy who pioneered handwritten letters for the moving industry. Why? Because my competition at my moving company was using the same stock postcards as me, and my mailing company didn't care. So I created a better way. Here's some mind-blowing results in July. Miracle Movers Utah closed $93,000 using our handwritten letter strategy. With our campaigns, you can forget about the guessing games. You get a trackable phone number, daily photo proof, an incredible design team, and I'm also included. All letters stop at me for approval before they ever leave our facility. Right now, Movified listeners get 1,000 golden tickets stuffed in our genuine handwritten letters completely free. Plus, I'm going to throw in bulk realtor data for up to 5 counties. What are you waiting for? Moving Letters AI. Stop competing, start dominating.
Yeah, buckle up, everybody. Buckle up. Let's kick it off. Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah. And I actually put a slide together just for you.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Look at this, right?
Beauty.
And these are suggestions and
Do you want to,
recommendations.
can you make it to like the full screen? Does
Of
that work?
course. Please hold.
I know, I'm so used to having Steven read, and Steven would have a minimized window and bar and everything else. And shout out to my co-host for Wednesdays. I love you, buddy. But we really want to make sure that everybody can kind of see the screen. There you go.
I love it.
Look at that.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I say that often, and good thing we have editorial control.
I love. That's right.
And now we.
Perfect.
And now.
All right. Cool.
Now you know why it was going to be 16 hours for me to find the button on the left.
That's right.
All right.
All right. You kick it off.
All right.
I'm excited to follow along here.
These are AI sales tools for home services. Home services includes the moving vertical. It includes roofers and home security and solar and internet. And if you're in the home service space, you can use any of these tools. And it's really about going from good to great. I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong. How to optimize your most precious asset, which is your time. We touched a little bit about me. All right. Please come find me on LinkedIn. Right. And I would love to connect with you. Every tool on the show, if you mention my name or you saw it in this podcast, you will get a discount or a special gift. Super important. Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It might even
you hear that, all these Movified listeners and watchers?
It may even be true. I'm not sure, but give it a whirl. So, we kind of talked about me a little bit. This is my favorite topic. I've been doing this for over 30 years, sales transformation, operational excellence, optimizing performance, using AI tools to drive sales, growth, all that great stuff. The difference between everyone else who says it and me is grew 3 businesses, sold 2 of them, and helping companies do it. It's what I do. I love to build things. Come find me on LinkedIn, and just a little bit about, why should anybody listen to me? So a few awards that I've won over the last 4 or 5 years, and I have awards before that, but the most relevant to what we're talking about, Stevie Award winner from 2022 to 2025, multiple awards each of those years. What are the Stevie Awards? Over 3,000 nominations from organizations of all sizes and virtually every industry in 49 nations and territories. This isn't Stevie Awards for moving companies, right? This is best use of sales tools in the moving industry. It's best use of technology and sales across all industries. That's what I'm going to share with you today, the playbook of how we did what we did with the tools that we used. Business Development Executive of the Year multiple times. I love relationships. I love connecting people with people. Contact Center Leader of the Year, background with AT&T, DirecTV, Cox Communications, and all things contact center. And I'm a big Talk Desk lover. I'm a big lover of Talk Desk because when we started with them, first time I met with them, we were evaluating companies. We had 8 licenses, 8 seats. We were looking to get 8. And all the other companies that we looked at, you get what you get. Don't fret. Talk desk, 8 seats. I had some questions for them. They said, well, we don't do that. I said, well, here's why I want it. They said, well, that makes sense. Let's get an engineer on the phone and figure out how we can do it. Those are the relationships I love. People are trying to help you be successful. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And again, feel free to shoot me a comment or DM on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know for sure. We'll have your LinkedIn profile for those to check you out and reach out for sure.
All right. So
Okay.
there's a lot
Here's
here.
the list.
There is a lot here. And I could talk a starving dog off a meat wagon. It's proven. We did for my son's birthday, but I'm not going to do that today. I've listed here the 9, 10 tools that I have used and what the purpose of the tools are. And so what I'd like to do, Mark, is kind of go through each one, pull them up, tell you what it is, what it's for.
Yeah, let's we got 2, 4, 6, 8. We got about 10 top tools that we're gonna kind of hit through. So why don't we try and do 2 minutes on each to kind of just like run through like why they're so good, what they do, and then go from there.
Okay, perfect. So I listed the email address if it's not just the name. So eviai.com. It is a tool for you to use with LinkedIn. All right. It is free. So you go to eviai.com. You can sign up free. They have tutorials. And the purpose of it is building your brand awareness on LinkedIn. There are 1.2 million users on LinkedIn. There are 200,000 users in the United States. It's the #1 business platform. And LinkedIn loves when people post. Less than 1% of people on LinkedIn post. They'll like or they'll comment. They don't post. So I tell people to post, build your presence. By the way, I have over 30,000 connections. I was never on LinkedIn before 6 years ago. And I use this tool. I use this tool to comment. I use a tool to help me create a post. And yes, there are other Chat GPT-like programs that can do that for you, except EviAI is the only platform that is connected with LinkedIn and they understand the algorithms of LinkedIn and will operate for you to post. It'll help you generate ideas, comment on others. Great tool to build your own brand and make connections.
That's crazy. And it's free?
And it's free. Now, there are upgraded plans, but you can get started for free, right? And again, we can go through these and then I'm going to go into some of the platforms and show you what I'm talking about. Umantic AI.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah. Umantic AI, buyer's intelligence for elite sellers. All right. People like themselves. We sell how we like to sell, not how our buyer likes to buy. So Umantic AI will create a buyer's personality in seconds to tell you how to write an email, how they like to be spoken to, how they this, how they that. You can take an email, your standard email, put it into the tool, and it will match the email to the personality. So I write like emails like I talk way, way too long. It will put it into bullet points. And all my stories are true. So I'm not going to say this is a true story, but this is a great story on Umantic AI. I had my whole sales team. When a lead comes in, they look up LinkedIn. They find the LinkedIn profile, right? Then that might tell them something about the person they're talking to. So the title of the person was Google partnership. So they're talking to the customer and they say, hey, my boss would love to talk to you about a partnership. And they said, sure, have him reach out. So I get this information on Wednesday and I type an email, attachments. So here's why we should partner, page, 2 pages, me type beautiful email, and all the attachments. So then I take this email and I copy paste it into Umantic and personalize. So it takes my email to match the personality of the person I'm talking to. And it changes that email to 6 words. Would you like to partner? So 5 words. So I had this long email, all these reasons why you should partner. It changes it to those 6 words. Would you like to partner? So this is like a Wednesday. Mark, I couldn't pull the trigger. It gets every bone in my body. I couldn't pull the trigger. So I go to bed that night. I couldn't sleep. I'm thinking about it. Next morning, I wake up and I said, look, if I'm going to use the tools, I have to use the tools. So I send the email that says, would you like to partner? Like 10 in the morning. 10:30 in the morning, I got a response back. Sure. When? I replied 10 a.m. tomorrow. Reply came back 10:30. Set up the teams, had a 30-minute call, and that led to multi-million dollars of revenue from this partnership. There is absolutely, Mark, no way that I would have done that. It would have happened if I had sent the email that I dropped. Not that it was a bad email, but her personality, she was not going to spend the time to read it. And probably when she got it, opened it, and saw all the words, she just would have she wouldn't have done it. It was her personality. I would not have been able to get that business because I was trying to sell her the way I sell, not the way she buys. Incredible. And I think that's something like $50 a month, unlimited. Again, we'll demo that. For folks in the Song and Pause, Mark, I don't know if your mouth is open because that's an incredible story, but pretty cool, right?
If you're considering Snowball, just do it.
Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we had 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
Being found on the second page of Google is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Your mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google, no one's gonna call, no one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
Can we just let's try and finish off with each one, pull it up and just kind of give like a quick short look. Let's pull up a company.
All right. So as
see what that looks like.
Yeah, sure. So let me see how dynamic.
To me, this one specifically, and I feel like Enhancify, like those two are probably the main ones as we're going down this list, that for those that are watching this and going through, that I really kind of want to see what that looks like, and everybody else can kind of figure it out on their own.
All right, bear with me.
No problem.
So
You
I'm
know what? While
happy
we do
about
this,
that.
hey, while Ken pulls this part up, why don't we gonna go shoot? Shoot. Why don't we gonna go
Well, I have
shoot
to do that
to
also,
our
by the way.
yeah, for sure. We're gonna take a brief moment and we're gonna go and hit our box of truth, similar to Dolly Dash. Let's get that box of truth taken care of. Welcome back. That was great. I love it. Box of Truth is brought to you by movifiednation.com. We want you to join the community. Get on there, fill out the mastermind form. If you want to be part of the mastermind groups, we're steadily already building out mastermind groups 3, 4, 5. It is filling up like wildfire. So we really want to get your application in, get you in the right group, and have you blow up for 2026. So make sure you check out movifiednation.com. All right. Let's see what we got.
Okay. So I just logged in, right? And so this'll feed right off of my LinkedIn where I can do a side panel right here. It'll pop up as a side panel. Okay. But let me go to the dashboard. Okay. And what was I talking about earlier? That you want to do a post. Staring at the screen. I don't know what to do. So let me go here. Idea generator. Okay. So I'm going to click on idea generator and you can create personas. So I have a persona for myself. What kind of idea do I want AI to generate? Informational, conversational, right? So let me enter something. How can I leverage cross-selling opportunities in the home service is industry, right? I mean, that's a pretty good topic, right? So let me hit generate idea.
Totally. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it now just popped up in seconds, right? Cross-selling isn't just about selling more,
Wow.
it's about creating a seamless experience. Think of cross-selling as a way to build trust when you recommend services that generally help your clients, they'll keep coming back. Okay. So I like that one. So I'm going to hit this little copy here, right? So I got the idea, but now I want Abby to write me the post. Right? So I put that in, that I just copy pasted the idea, and now I hit generate.
Sure.
So that little circle tells me it's thinking, right? And again, there are other chat GPT, but this is connected with LinkedIn, right? And so here, look, and it comes up with this post, right? Now I created my persona. So do you see this right here? Let's go. So that's my little jam, right? So when I go to my persona, as opposed to my Sharona.
Oh, you're not allowed to steal. Oh, whoa, Ken. You're not allowed to steal the Let's Go Boys little tagline because we say "Let's go."
Yeah. So I don't know. I think
we'll charge you a couple cents every time you say it. It's totally
that's no
understandable.
problem, because I'll double whatever you're charging me, but give you half off. So what I did in the persona is, hey, act as me, end with "Let's go," and include the following hashtags. So I've told Evie what I wanted, right? So when it created the post, where'd my little post go? I'm gonna have to do it again. Editing, love the editing options. All right, so it better come up with the same thing.
Sure.
Okay, so it is going to come up with a post. Now, of course, I'm gonna proofread it, but I can then take that post and copy it, and then right on LinkedIn, I can
drop it,
and I could boom. Now, I did that all off of the platform, so it would be easier for you to see, but you could do all that stuff right here on the side panel. Okay. This is
crazy,
seconds, right? Seconds. And LinkedIn says you just need to do 3 actions a week to increase your awareness. Like, comment, post. I personally think likes, nice, but meaningless. Commenting, even better, right? So I'm going to discard this. All I would have to do is hit post. But here's Movified AI, right? And here's something that it has.
Yeah,
here.
let's jump over to that one now. I love this. If you want to know more, go do the demo. Go check this out for the first one, because I want to keep time as limit, like, you know, like in that's as yeah, as special as possible. So
It just created a comment. I could go in here, hit comment, copy paste the comment. Like,
oh, crazy. So
engaging.
you were, so hold on. So you were able
Go ahead.
to, so what you were doing is you went on, you took someone else's post, you took what
So
they wrote,
yeah,
dropped it in there so that you could have an actual comment that hits back as well too.
exactly, exactly. So here's the problem people make on LinkedIn, right? If you go to a conference, you don't sit in the corner, right? If you sit in the corner, you're not going to meet people. So if you're not active on LinkedIn, you're not going to meet people, right? If you go to a conference and say, hi, I'm Ken, will you buy something for me? No one's going to buy anything. So the problem everybody makes on LinkedIn is they connect and say, hi, I sell, I buy and sell used trailers. Do you have any? Like, there was no dance, there was no tango, right? So you need to go out, find the people you want to follow them, see if they follow you back, find the comments that they're posting, right? And comment on their posts. And by the way, AI will track all of your connections and tell you when they post something. You can create a birthday response, because on LinkedIn, happy birthday, congratulations on the promotion. If 100 people respond that way, the recipient is going to get the same message. How are you different? You can create your own post that will automatically do that. But it's a tango, right? I want you to follow me back. I comment on yours,
Sure.
your comment back. Then I go in for a connection. Then I ask about blah, 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 right? It's a tango, and you can do the tango using the AI tool.
Moving company owners and home service businesses. This is not another conference pitch. This is about fixing what's been holding you back in your business. If your team is busy, but your profits are flat or worse, negative, your systems are honestly broken. We're going to show you how to rebuild them. So join me, Jeremy Miner, Jason and Ali Watson, and others on January 9th and 10th in Chandler, Arizona. It's 2 days of proven frameworks, sales training, operations training, and strategy that you can take away right back into your business. You'll walk away with clarity, confidence that moves your business forward. So click below and get in the room.
Hey, it's Mark with Movified, and I'm here to talk about Canada Home Listings. They are the only direct mailer service built specifically for household good movers in Canada. That's right, my hometown. They help moving companies reach homeowners the moment they list their home, with proven mail campaigns that drive results. And for the Movified listeners, they're offering exclusive promotions you won't find anywhere else. So go check them out today. Go online, go do your thing, and go find them. Canada Home Listings right now. Go. And then keep watching the show.
Guys, if you're watching this, if you're only listening to this, make sure you're checking in the description for all the listed platforms to go check out, because you definitely want to be tuning in. Go watch the YouTube version of this, or go watch the Spotify version of this, because you're going to want to see these demos, because it is phenomenal. Like, I'm so jazzed to even just get in there and start testing it out. Okay, Ken, let's move on to the next one.
And just to reiterate, sign up for free.
For free.
Okay. Yeah. And they have weekly, they have onboarding. Like, I'm going super fast, I talk fast, but what I'm saying is someone's going to hold your hand through the park to get you to the other side with all of these tools. Okay, dig in.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, all right. Sorry, Abby, you're out. Okay. Next up is Umantic. So here's my buddy Mark right here. We've got Umantic working.
What a good looking guy.
Yeah, everyone has their own opinion. So 30 seconds in, it took 4 seconds. It just pulled your profile up. 4 seconds. So
this is so cool. I am so fascinated about this.
So 4 seconds. Now let's go through this, Mark, right? Here, I got my head's to the right because I'm over here. So first of all, this is going to tell me about you, right? And then it says you're a doer, fast-paced, strategic planner, deliberate doer, and topics you care about. And then it tells me our personality compatibility. So this is me selling to you, okay? says you and Mark have the same personality type. It means your natural styles work effect. That's awesome. That means I don't have to fake it to make it. My sales personality, it matches your buyer's personality. Cool, right? But if it didn't, it is going to get, and it still will, even though it does, it's going to tell you how to sell to Mark. When cold calling, a polite and formal approach, doesn't sound over friendly, slow down a little bit, keep your tone calm, how to win, mistakes to avoid, making the ask, subconscious driver when writing an email. So again, that was the personalizer, right? You put in the individual or personality type, you put in the letter. So here's what's great. We had an outreach program, email outreach program to realtors. They're great in all kinds of verticals, especially in solar. They're selling the home or buying the home. Let's get connected with that person. Okay, solar, home security, doesn't matter. So we had your average 0.8%, 1% response rate on those. We then took the personality types and created separate letters for each personality. And we looked up the personality and Umantic and the person. So we had our standard 5 or 6 letters. So that 1% went to a 2.7% response rate. Okay. Because it's resonating with the person who's getting it. Then based on that, I said, okay, now we're going to look up each person and we're going to personalize the letter. All I need to do, right? Individual, put in their LinkedIn profile, copy, paste the letter in here, personalize. It's now matching my same letter, not changing the word, just changing the presentation. So that 2.7% went to 3.7%. Fourfold by just matching how the person likes to receive emails, matching how the person likes to get text.
Well, and a lot of us, I get spammed all the time on LinkedIn. And to me, it always seems so auto-generated and there's nothing personal about it. You know that this was a templated, quick conversation. So to have a tool that I can utilize and go, hey, I want to reach out to Ken and I'm going to have this set up on the side and I can be able to generate an intro message to you that you're going to feel, hey, like, all right, I like this guy. I'm going to go check it out because of how the message was made, as opposed to the next person that I'm going to reach out to. And that message is completely different because it's going to personalize how I'm going to write it to that individual. I think is genius.
And so
it saves you so much time.
Well, it's not just about saving time. This is where I think people get confused with AI. Of course, AI can help with tasks, right? And I could blast out a email to a gazillion people. That's a standard email that will get me no responses. But man, it's fast. I've sped up unsuccessful activity. Kind of like when I played golf before I took golf lessons. I got a bucket of balls. I went to the range and every ball I was hooking left. And boy, did I go through a lot of buckets. I was practicing imperfection. It didn't matter how fast I was going through the balls, right? What this does, it tailors that outreach. Now, how can you use this and be faster? Well, I recently went to a conference. I took the list of the attendees. I did a prompt and I had it generate the Umantic profiles for me of all the people that were there. Then I took those and said, match up the personalities of me. And then I also did a prompt to say, here's what I'm looking for in who I'm trying to meet. And so of the 1,018 people, it gave me my top 20. Now I had that all automated to do. That saved me days and days and days. However, my specific outreach before the conference, right, went to LinkedIn, used the AI tools, right? So this is different than Evie because Evie works within the LinkedIn environment. Once I'm going outside the LinkedIn environment to send an email to a person, I call them Umantic AI, Umantic AI, Umantic AI. Okay. And
gotcha.
And you tell me, right? Setting expectations. How fast or slow will Mark move? They will want to understand things well, but can move fast once they have a clear picture. Is that you or is that not you? And it's okay to disagree.
Now, is it also going to kind of give you the impression of someone that, it wants to be constantly reminded? So they're, it's the someone that you don't mind hitting them with like 3-4 times over a week period to reach out to, as opposed to someone that, hey, shoot me a message, follow it with me in a week, right? Or follow it with me in 2 weeks.
It's all going to go back to setting expectations, right? So how fast or slow will Mark work, right? Can Mark take risks, right? So I'll give you another story. So in one of these, how fast or slow, the comment was, the person likes to take their time making a decision. Schedule appropriate check-ins, but do not bombard them, my word, do not bombard them with follow-ups, okay? Now, I eat, like I talk, fast, ferociously fast follow-up, lead, speed to lead, every nail, not the same hammer. But that was my MO until I started working with Umantic. So I'm looking through the pipeline. I see a big job. I call the sales guy. What's going on? It's been 6 days without an outreach. Are you crazy? Ken, I use the tools that you've asked us to. Umantic AI said that the person, exactly how I described, likes to be followed up with periodically, but does not like to be pressured. Okay. And so this went on. We won the business. The customer sent an email to that agent that said, thank you so much for your professionalism. It came down to you and 2 others all had high quality. But the deciding factor for me was that, well, the other 2 constantly asked me for the sale. You checked me and never once asked me. You asked if I had any questions. You asked open-ended questions. You never pressured me for the sale. And candidly, had we not had that insight, we would have been like the other 2. Incredible. And one of the great things about this, amongst others, is buying committee. So when you have a bunch of folks that you're going to sell to, we call that a buying committee. And sometimes, maybe more than sometimes, we are generally selling based upon title. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is a skeptic and who's an endorser. We sell based upon title. So what the buying committee is, and this is kind of made up here, you put in all the names of the people that you're going to meet with. And that just a LinkedIn profile or their email address. I'm just using LinkedIn as my tool here. We connected with our CRM. So when a lead came in, it dipped through Umantic. And when the person got the lead, it already had the profile on. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do with it. So I've got my buying here, all the people at the company that I'm meeting. So I hit analyze buying community.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you here because I want to kind of keep jumping on to the rest. If you want to know more on here, I mean, this is where you reach out to Ken. This is where you go check out. You do the demos. This is like super fascinating. I love this whole kind of setup, and you're kind of scrolling by. And like I said, well, people would shoot me if I did a 16-hour episode, but I really kind of want to make sure that we're hitting some of the main points on here and try and keep time on par. Go check this thing out. This platform. Yeah, go finish up on here.
Okay. Buying committee will tell you who's your friend, who's the crusader, who's neutral, who's the skeptic. The skeptics are the one you need to neutralize, right? Powerful information.
Hi, I'm Mark Hirschi with Salmon's Moving and Storage. Today, I want to talk about Tighten Up training. Why? Because this is Netflix grade quality training. It's not those old videos and VHSs that you got hiding in your office somewhere. It's online, it's easy to use, they're short videos, but they get to the point. My new employees, these guys run through these training programs, there's tests at the end, and they're coming out going, oh, I'm ready to rock. So if you haven't checked out Tighten Up training yet, get a demo done. Get on board. Guess what else is there? Online portals for my sales staff. Can you believe it? These guys can learn how to overcome objections and book more leads today. So what are you waiting for? Go check out Tighten Up training today.
I love how they break that down. That is cool.
Okay. Yambo.
Yambo. So Yambo, we can go kind of quick and you can briefly talk about it because everybody that listens to this podcast should already have an understanding on Yambo or Live Switch. I mean, Yambo is like the great AI tool to scan around the rooms, get your inventory made, all of that.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So let me tee this up a little bit. This is Yambo. Okay. This is a type of environment. This could be a 1-minute video. And what you're going to see, what teleprompter does is allow you as the sales coach to load in what are those things that you want your sales team to make sure you're asking about: packing, valuation, crating, shuttles. And as the team is as the salesperson is talking about it, it is going to pop up on the screen to make sure they're asking about it. If a TV pops up, it's going to ask a box for it. And it's going to cross off the ones that they do it. It's going to give you a report, don't do it. And this is just coming into live production. It was trialed with one company in 30 days. And by using it, they were able to increase their overall revenue per sale by 8% and their conversion rate by 30% by proactively framing the fight. So with that said, let me start this gig.
Do you want to go to the big screen on here?
So here is the moving company. Here is the customer. You see up here, this is where it's teleprompted. Setting expectations.
That is fascinating. So basically, these questions are coming up as you're doing the walkthrough, and then you can kind of focus on making sure, because you know how many times we always complain, hey, oh yeah, these AI tools are great, except that they've totally forgot to ask about what's in the cupboards. They forgot to ask what's in the crawl space and everything.
Exactly.
So this at least can come up. You can make sure that your moving consultants are asking all the questions necessary. That's great.
The whole idea, Mark, in the industry is that we have these 20, 30, 40-year experienced folks, right, who are aging out. And so do we have 20 years to train somebody, right? I continue to recommend to folks, get salespeople that you can train in fill in the blank industry. Because if all we're doing is hiring someone in the utility industry or home security industry from one job to the next, right? How about getting the best salesperson available and then train them in the industry that you're in? And so what teleprompter does for the moving industry is allow you to put in your playbook for new people coming in to make sure they're hitting the valuation, legal to do all those things. How many automobiles are you moving? Right? End, right? And that is how AI tools take you from good to great. So Pipes AI, this is about speed to lead. So I was recently working with a home service company, and who, of course, everyone says they've got everything, handled. And I say, yeah, no problem. I'm not about anecdotal feedback. I'm about data. So I submitted a lead from their website, and I got it was at night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I got a note back. Someone will contact you within 24 hours. And 36 hours later, I got a phone call. In some of these industries, 36 hours, it's all over. You're not even responding before someone else has a quote or has booked a move or has booked their home services. Pipes is about speed to lead. So lead comes into your CRM. CRM is API to Pipes. Pipes will send a text message that says, hi, Mr. So-and-so. This is Bob from so-and-so company. I just received your lead. I'll be calling you from this number. As the customer is reading their text message, the phone rings and they say hello. On average, it is a 70 to 80% connection rate. And who's connecting with you? A customer that submitted a lead and pressed 1 to connect. high intent customers. Do you want your team to be outbound dialing, or do you want automation to outbound dial and you to answer the phone? So you can do that for leads. You can do that for customer service follow-up. You can do it if you have a bunch of 1099 contractors and you're supposed to at the end of the year to make sure that they have their form. Regardless, you're converting your leads. And on the front end, it's doing email validation, phone validation. So if those are bad, it'll give you a report. You don't have to pay for those leads if they're bad leads. So this is a tool that gets started about $500 a month, and it will be all your automation, lead to call automation. You could do text only. If it's on the weekends, you maybe just want to send out a text message, right? So there's no call. And on that text message, it has a link for the customer to do the survey. And if you're using Yambo, you connect that with your Yambo survey and they get started. So when you come in on Monday, you've got a book of business ready to book. Not, we'll call you back in 24 or 48 hours and then they call the next mover. So you can use these tools, right? So $500 worth to do all of your outbound dialing, right? That's like a tenth of a person, right? How do you use the tools effectively, efficiently, and cost effectively to do the task that will lead to a higher conversion rate for you and your company?
That's so cool. I mean, and I know there's other moving companies that I've had conversations with where they are using these type of tools out here right now. So it's a great way for you if you're trying to get in here. Here's a platform that totally makes sense and it's going to work. So this one's great. What do we got next?
Yep. Integrates with all of the CRMs and all the phone systems, end. Okay. That's a good question. What do we have next? This is so exciting.
Oh, I mean, it's almost overwhelming, but I love it.
Okay. So like Snowball, there's not.
Come on, you better. I mean, they're a sponsor on the show. They are your referral affiliate concierge service. So we don't need to go in here. If you're watching or listening on this platform, you know that Snowball is a sponsor of the program. They are a fantastic service. We use them. We love them. I know several other moving companies that attest to generating tons of business using Snowball. So if you want to see a demo, our link is in there all the time. Go click on that link, go do a demo. You get a discount for Movified listeners. Love them. Next, Frontier.
Yeah, but let me just talk about Snowball for 2 minutes. Okay. And
all right, fine. We'll get Snowball. I appreciate you, Landon. Shout out to Landon. You got the platform, Ken. Let's hear it.
Right. So here's the gig, right? First of all, I'm amazed at some companies that don't even have a CRM. So you're in business for 10 years, you don't have a CRM. Your most important data is your customer data. And so that a good experience with you, right? You want referrals, you want repeat business, okay? Can't get it because there's no CRM. My goodness gracious, okay? Your customer data, leveraging your customer data. Snowball does repeats, referrals, testimonial reviews where it's video. Google eats that stuff up. You can put on your website. But here's the data. If you were to have binoculars and go into the Snowball platform, on average, it's a 7 to 10% referral rate. And on average, it's a 48% conversion rate to sale. Now, because I'm really, really bad in math, okay, let's just say 5% of the customers will refer and 50% of those will book. So if you have 5,000 customers that you start with this trial where you get 2 months free, you do this trial, 5,000 previous customers. 5% of those will lead to referrals, which is 250, and 50% of them would book. You can have 125 sales. Multiply that by your average revenue, and you have the revenue that's going to be generated from your 2-month free trial at a small activation fee. The ROI is ridiculous, and they do it that way because to prove to you that it works. A customer in the home service space spent $9,000 on referrals over the last 3 months. so paying for the referral, and generate over $300,000 of revenue. The math, okay? Repeats, reviews, referrals, affiliate marketplace, and concierge. Okay, cool.
So cool.
Right. Well, those 2
And
minutes,
you know
right,
what's
Mark?
I'll tell you what's even great, Ken, is that for all those that are watching right now, we've just hit the 5 out of 10 AI tools to accelerate your business and make it way more effective for to reach and the speed to lead. If you want to know about the next 5, stay tuned for part two, as Ken's going to go dive into the next 5. And we don't even want to give those out. We're not even going to have them listed on here. You have to stay tuned for part 2 because that's the only way it works. And Ken, like, this has been great. Are we going to be good for part 2 to hit the next 5?
Yeah, I'm good to 3:30, my friend.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna hit it off there, and stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Salmon's Moving and Storage and Ellis Moving and Storage, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And this is part 2 with Ken Cohen. We are going through some of the most amazing AI tools to help accelerate your business, especially the business-to-business leads. These tools that we can use on LinkedIn, tools that we can use to enhance our surveys on site, or not even on site. You can just do it remotely with tools like Yemba. We talked about Humanic. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, semantic AI.
Let's start from the front. What was number 1?
Number 1, Evie AI. How to build
Evie
your
AI.
online presence and brand in LinkedIn. LinkedIn,
Beauty.
1.2 billion users. All right,
Right.
200
Then we got
million in the United.
Then we got
Humantic
Humatic.
AI.
Yes. Then we had Yembo. There's your other tool.
Yep.
On there. The next one we had was
Pipes.
Pipes.ai. Oh my God. You guys need to be using this. I mean, the tool itself, to me, like, to spend $500 a month to capture those leads so fast and get those calls coming through or getting those messages. I mean, how much money are you leaving on the table by not getting to your clients fast enough? And then lastly, but not least, what was the 5th one?
Snowball, baby.
That's right. One of our sponsors on the show, Snowball. Again, you know what? Like, just like Ken said in the last episode, uh, your CRM is your database. All your movers. I mean, how are you not keeping track of your list? There's going to have Mr. and Mrs. Cohen that you moved 2 years ago. You moved their daughter. You moved their son. You've done all of this stuff, and you're not following up with the clients that love you the most and making sure that they are sharing the word, or just reminding them with a friendly reminder saying, hey guys, or getting those video testimonials out there and putting it on Google. Snowball is the answer. The link is in the description for you to go do a demo, sign up. I know you get a special package with Movified listeners, so why wouldn't you want to give it a try and see how well it is? So we've hit the first 5. Ken, why don't you shoot us right off into number 6? Oh, and let's
Sure. And
go ahead.
no, please. I insist.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was going to give you a brief bio again, but you know what? The bio is in there for Ken. And if you didn't listen to episode 1, go back and re-listen to it, because this man is full of knowledge and he wants you to follow him on LinkedIn, because that is the best way for him to be able to reach out to you, to teach you, to train you, to help you out. So, Ken, number 6.
Yeah. Thank you. And let me interject for a second. And I continue to hear this, and I understand. I absolutely understand. In businesses with a paper thin margin, I can't afford. I say you can't afford not to do it because you're spending the money on leads and not counting them. You're spending the money on people dialing when you can have tools dial and the people doing the ferociously fast follow-up. You have to look at the ROI. I'm not telling you to spend money frivolously. What I'm saying is invest in attacking those things that will bring a return to your business. Okay, number 6, Frontier Growth. Frontier Growth is an outreach program for realtors. And what I absolutely love about Frontier Growth is you can couple that with Snowball for their affiliate marketplace. So Frontier Growth is outreaching to realtors, and you're connecting them to become an affiliate for you, and Snowball then manages all of that. 1 + 1 = 47, my favorite expression. Ship Your Car Now Auto Logistics, whether you're in the moving industry or elsewhere, how to leverage, upsell, cross-sell. We did the upselling, cross-selling on Evie. Ship Your Car Now Auto Logistics has an integrated, automated process to get quotes live. They have less than 0.5% claims rate, the best in the industry. And they have all of their drivers are vetted. They have security on the front end and the back end, and a lookup ID so the customer knows who's coming to pick up the car. Theft in the car industry is through the roof. Recently, Ship Your Car Now has announced an integration with Yembo. So while you're doing the survey, you can also secure that automobile. A great tool, standalone, coupled with Yembo. Ship Your Car Now Auto Logistics.
And a shout out to them too as well. I met them at a conference last year and was blown away by their program. Like the fact that, I mean, look, the last thing we want to do is have the time that our customer service rep, or we have someone in our office because someone needs to get their car shipped. And so now they got to phone that auto transport company. They got to give all the details. They got to wait for the quote back. They then have to let their client know. Can you imagine if you just had your screen up, you went on to Sync Auto Logistics, and then you just typed in the make and model, where you're going from and to, and it just pumps you out a price right there. So it definitely worth checking out. I'm really happy that Ken has this on your list, because these guys are definitely a company to check out for sure. Just quick shout out to them.
Yeah, 100% guaranteed pickup within 2 days. If you need it faster than that, there's a slight upcharge. But working with quality service providers, all of these companies here I've worked with for years and years and years. I've known the SVP of strategy at Ship Your Car Now, Marco, for close to 10 years. So these are people that I've worked with that have become friends. They've become friends because their service works. Okay,
that's right, Marco. That's right. Shout out to Marco. I remember meeting him. All right, yeah. Enhancify.
We'll get him on here. Enhancify. So Enhancify will provide financing for your customers with interest rates as low as 0%.
That's wild.
And, they complete the application, the money goes to them, and then they pay you. And the reason it's done that way is if for some reason the customer stopped paying, there's zero recourse to you. So whatever industry you're in, if you're trying to, increase revenue, and in AT&T, we called it the all-for-one package. That was the phone line, the internet, mobility, and long distance, right? All for one, right? If you're putting your package together with packing, unpacking, valuation, and crating, and a customer says it's too expensive, well, you need to save that money for the damages that another mover is going to do at half the price, because that's impossible. How about you have this alternative for the upsell where you can finance that, paid over time, with interest rates as low as 0%. All right. Again, awesome. Great opportunity. There's 7,000 contractors that use Enhancify. It's a great opportunity to provide a solution for your customer and for you to upsell and provide the best package for the customer.
So good.
All right. Rounding out. So Numerical is a great platform. It is amazing to me on the amount of money people spend on leads and when they outbound dial. I don't know, everybody listening should do this test. from your work phone, outbound dial your cell phone, and tell me what that says figuratively. May say spam. Well, that's what your customers are seeing when they call.
Right.
If you
No,
do have
I see this a
branding,
lot. Now, sorry, Ken. I see this a lot
trust me.
with companies that are using those like auto dialer situations where they're getting that text, like, where it just shoots out, and the next thing you know, no one's answering them, and they're like, "Oh, this is not working," and it's because it's coming up as spam.
Yeah, and that's where it all started with the automated dialers and power dialing certain numbers, but it is well past that. The individual wireless providers, customers can have spam detection on their phone, and it does not matter if you are branding your call outbound dialing. If it's not spam remediated, spam overrides the brand. And in some cases, I've had clients that have had numbers blocked that they weren't even aware of. So the great thing about numericals, it doesn't just do branded caller ID. It requires you to do the remediation, because doing branded without the remediation is paying for something you're not going to get, because spam overrides any brand. But it's amazing to me how many companies don't even know if it's branded, or if there's spam on their numbers, or. Go to numerical.com. You can get 20 numbers free check to see if you have spam on. If you do, they'll remediate, they'll brand it. But at the very least, outbound dial your number from your phone system and take a look-see of what your customers are seeing. What a shocker. They're not answering because of spam. I don't answer calls that say spam. In fact, I don't even answer calls where I know the person, which is why, Mark, I didn't answer your call earlier today.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, we're just
And
blocking
then,
my calls.
Yeah. Because whether it says spam or not, Mark, I know it is.
I know. I got a question for you, Kim, before we hit up the last one. Somebody, being at this conference, said to look up for Zoom info. Have you seen Zoom info? And it's like a
Yes.
business to business type of style. Do you have any thoughts on that? Is that like a soft hit for like a number 11, or is it something that you think is a little bit overrated, overpriced?
Well, I have limited experience with Zoom info, so I don't want to say one thing or the other. All the tools
Gotcha.
that I put
Appreciate
on
that
here
answer.
are tools that I've used, that are
Yeah.
price conscious, and that I've used. That's all I could. Now, if there was a sponsor, I'm going to change my answer. Absolutely, it would be a software.
Yeah. Right, for sure. Yeah. Not a sponsor. Not yet, anyways. But yeah, no, for sure. I love it. Okay, Talk Desk. I want to hear this for the top number 10.
Yeah. So there's a theme for all of these companies here, right? All of these tools are what allowed me to win the Stevie Award of Best Use of Technology in Sales. Here they are, right? Now, I didn't get them and sit on a box. I actually used them. And not only did I use them, I connected Frontier Growth with Snowball. And I connected Pipes with our and connected Pipes with TalkDesk, and built with the tools, and kept thinking about ways we could optimize it. I had never heard of TalkDesk in 2019, and I was in the contact center space. And when we did the RFP, 8 seats, nothing, flea bite on elephant. And everyone had the same gauges and dials that all kind of looked the same, But when talking about support, when talking about here's what I want to do and why, they bent over backwards to accommodate that, not understanding why I want it. But then when I told them, saw the value, not just for us, but for all their companies. And then fast forward, 2022, AI, workforce management, Copilot, Autopilot. Now they have a TalkDesk Express And I said to the advisory board, listen, you guys are doing awesome with these large companies, but they're small companies that could use a system like Talk. They came out with TalkDesk Express for smaller size companies where you could have AI automation in your whole call flow, right? From start to finish, chatbots and all these great buzzwords built into the platform for you. Here's what folks may or may not understand about AI. Okay. So when you have multiple AI tools and you have to train the AI, right? So we were using an analytic tool. So we had to train the AI on the words. And we had TalkDesk, we had to train that. And then TalkDesk came out with AI tool. I wanted a single pane of glass. Let me have all of my AI in the speech analytics in a single pane of glass. So when I'm training the AI, I'm training it once in one platform. Now, Pipes AI, Yemba, those are different types of, I don't have to train the AI. The AI in those platforms are learning. Oh, people in this zip code with Pipes AI are picking up at this time. Let me change my dialing pattern because I'll dial 9 times over 7 days for you, right? TalkDesk with its analytics, with its screen pop, all those things, one AI to train. And it's not just that I'm a fan of the platform. I'm a fan of the people. I'm a fan of the technology. I'm a fan of the give back to the community. I'm just a big fan of all these, but there's a special place for TalkDesk for how well they made me look. And perhaps, maybe, I didn't deserve all of it. It could have been the platform. And that's really true of all of these. But when people think about contact center platform, oh, I use VoIP, I use this, it's too expensive. How much is too expensive for your average revenue per sale, for your average cost of acquisition, from not having that customer experience, for missing that call, not having the automated callback, not having the customer have the options on after hour to do X, Y, and Z? These are tools to help you accelerate your revenue, reduce your expenses, from people to be focusing on those things to drive sales and improve a customer experience.
Now, something like
last, sorry, but not last in terms of the value they provide.
Right. Now, can something like TalkDesk, does it have like an open API? Does it work with like HubSpot? Like, can you use this as an integration for customer service automation with those type of platforms?
Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up. All of these tools here absolutely can integrate with each other. Quite frankly, Mark, I'm tired of hearing about, oh, we're open source, and that just means they're DOS. Anybody could program DOS in. It's really not open source. I didn't know what APIs were before I started working with Pipes and all. And when I was working at a company, I said, oh, look at it. This is going to be so difficult. And I told that to the owner. He goes, what are you talking about? And they created, click a button, and the posting instructions came. And he told me, take that API key and drop it into your CRM, right? Like it takes away all the excuses of why stuff doesn't get done, and you could do it yourself. All right. And again, I'm not being negative on anybody. All I'm saying is all of these tools allow easy integration into all CRMs and into each other. And how do we make 1 + 1 = 47 is to leverage the use of and maybe using other tools. Cool. Okay. Are you using them, or did you pull a Mark and ordered it and it's just kind of sitting there like the book I had of losing weight, which didn't happen until I got to the gym? Here's the gym membership. You can't do it all at once. You'll fail. Pick a couple. They're all reasonably priced. Pick a couple, start using it, and see the benefits. Building your brand awareness. I never, ever sold anything on LinkedIn, but I built relationships that allowed me to partner with companies to sell stuff.
Well, and I think, and that to me is the key.
People,
wow.
200 million people on LinkedIn. You go into a conference with 50 people? How about a conference with 200 million in the US?
Only
what? Only platform that's open 24 days away, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week 365 days a year is LinkedIn.
Ken is a huge LinkedIn. I feel like every time he's allowed to say LinkedIn, they're sending him like a quarter. And he's just like banking every time he's like recommending LinkedIn.
Well, because I have to
love
give
it.
you the,
But
I
you
have
know,
to give you for the,
but
I have to give you the nickel. Wait, I have to give you the nickel for every time I say let's go. So it all.
that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
And let me stress,
That's
by
right.
the way, let me stress more. None of these are not paid endorsements.
No, for sure. But I mean, here's what I actually like appreciate and why we have you on the show today is because we hear about a lot of tools. I bet you, to be honest with you, that those that are watching, especially those that are avid Movified followers, are only going to know two things: Yembo, Snowball, and maybe Pipes. So the fact that we have went through these 10 is amazing. I appreciate it. And a lot of moving company owners, they're not even utilizing LinkedIn enough. You know, they might be getting their customer service agents and reps to go through and, hey, make sure you're on LinkedIn and reaching out here, but they're not giving them also the tools to effectively reach out. And then what happens is they go, oh yeah, I made some contacts and, okay, I got a couple people back, but at such a scale. And why not just go and invest in these right tools to effectively make your business grow? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Ken,
yeah. And Mark, I'm going to say a couple. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a couple of quick things. Okay. And I know we're like 2 hours old. So what I'll say is, going out of LinkedIn on the customer service person, like where is that person moving for work? And if they are, and they're calling you as a mover, it means that company must not have a preferred mover. Go get it. Like that one time for the whole year will cover the cost of all of this stuff. Right. And then the other thing I will say is I've experienced company. Oh, I've tried this before. It didn't work. I said, well, it's worked for me for 10 years. I'm going to help you. Well, I don't want anything out of it. I'm going to help you. And like 9 out of 9 so far, it magically works, right? So if I go to the gym and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not going to lose weight if I'm doing one rep. I don't know what I'm doing. So I've had people, I've tried that, it doesn't work. I'm not going to be rude. That's not my MO where I'm going to say, no, you don't work. You don't know how to use it. Self-driving car, self-parking car, you're not using it properly. I delegated, and I delegated to someone who didn't have time to learn it. These tools work because I've used them multiple times.
And this is great, Ken. And thank you so much for taking the time to come on to the show to share this list, to share your time. It's invaluable. It's really appreciated. For those that are watching and listening, make sure you're going to see Ken's contact details in there if you want to reach out, understand a little bit more. I highly suggest you take some time, go through this top 10 list and check them out, go do some demos. And especially for something like MV AI, like, come on, at least it's free to get in there and start utilizing it. I can't wait. Like, I literally want to get off this podcast, get my LinkedIn up and start doing these posts, because I follow a lot of amazing individuals on LinkedIn and very smart people, or at least now I think they're smart. Maybe they're probably using this platform to do their posts and going, man, this is so good, or they articulated it so well. It doesn't seem like AI. Some of the topics that they're talking about are like really inspirational. I can really relate to this, and I just want to start doing it because I want to start using this to really give myself a presence more on LinkedIn. So amazing. Can't wait to test this stuff out. Ken, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to have you back on for your next top 10 in the new year.
I don't know if I have another top 10, but I'll be on the lookout for sure. Thanks for having me. I had a blast.
We'll follow up on there. Yeah. And for all those that are watching, stay Movified. Until next time, make sure you're hitting that like button, hit follow, hit subscribe, and hit us with that 5-star. We appreciate you as much as you appreciate us. Stay Movified.